Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes, yes, we are back on another Saturday morning. The Three-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And I'm your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? It's going to be another fun Saturday. So much to get into, so much to talk about. And of course, I'm not doing this by myself. Got my co-host, my road dog, Mr. D Intellectual. What up, man?
What up, though? What up, man? It's a great Saturday. I don't want to say beautiful because it's really not beautiful compared to that 80 degree we had the other day.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, that was...
You go from 80 to 50.
50 degrees.
Real quick.
Crazy. And I got G on the ones and twos, on the engineer, the producer, whatever you want to call it. What up, G?
Yo.
G is in full effect today. Believe me, he is when he says that.
Believe it.
But yeah, we got a lot to get into. First of all, D, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm great. It's been a great week. Great last few weeks for us.
Yeah.
It's been very exciting, and just the future going to be bright for us.
I'm tired, so I won't lie. I'm very tired. G, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm exhausted, man.
They don't understand, and then we get man.
That's why I need these naps on Saturday afternoon.
them naps. People don't know about them naps. If you don't get a nap, you probably can't do nothing tonight.
No.
Like, it's going to be over at like 9:30.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, man, it's very tiring, but so much and there's going on in sports. So much to get into. Of course, we have the NBA trade deadline. It surpasses, but it was a lot of trades that happened, a lot of significant trades. We're going to get into that. Also, Giannis and LeBron, they picked their team. I don't know
Did they?
what Giannis is doing, but as I said, I think Giannis. Somebody told Giannis it was a relay race. And he was picking his team for that.
I think it's one of them things where he being friends with people too, right? You know what I mean? Like,
so basically, Giannis doesn't have any friends. 'Cause like, what are you doing? I mean, no disrespect to.
I think he didn't want to hurt. Yeah.
We'll get into it later, but yeah, I don't know. Like you said, yeah, he probably didn't want to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
Like you felt sorry for him. Come on, man, this is a contest. Also, we have the Alliance of American Football League. It debuts today, and our own Atlanta Legends take on the Orlando. What are they called? The
Apollos.
Apollos. Okay,
that's their name, huh?
that's what's up. But we'll get into that because I don't see a lot of publicity for this. I don't know why, but we'll get into that. Also, MLB. I think it's like 2 weeks away as far as spring training.
Yeah, it's almost time.
And Manny and Bryce hasn't been signed yet.
We're going to get into that too.
So crazy. And then we got college basketball. Big game today, UVA, Virginia going up against Duke. It was a thriller last time. And we have Mr. Deshaun Tate from Tate's Take going to come in and give his analysis on college basketball. And then we have Ask a Doc with Dr. Donald Fowler III. He's going to come in, the orthopedic from Ortho Atlanta. He's going to come in. We're going to ask him about some injuries, some significant injuries and things of that nature. So make sure you stay tuned. Let everybody know they can listen to the show on 1100 AM, WWWE, The Real, locally in Atlanta. Also, you can look at it on Facebook Live on the 3-Point Conversion Facebook page. Also on YouTube Live as well. Then we're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Radio Now. So just check us out. Also on the website, 1100 AM, WWWE. So it is time to get to these quick hits. Oh, make sure you can call in at 404-603-8770. Don't be scared. Call in. It's okay.
We love to hear y'all voice.
I know, right? Everybody's scared, so. All right, it's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. And of course, shout out to Sherm Beats for the sick beats.
Crazy on the beat.
All right, so we're going to start off with this Anthony Davis saga. I guess he's a junior because his father's a senior. I don't know why we don't call him Anthony Davis Jr. But anyway, so the NBA is stepping in. So, it was a lot of talk about the Pelicans starting him. I mean, not playing him for the rest of the season. They're being petty.
Mm-hmm.
So the NBA came in since all this talk was going on. They said, look, we're going to fine you $100,000. I think it's a game if you don't play him. And so Pelicans played him. He got booed. He went 11 for 15, 32 points, 12 rebounds, something like that. Some crazy blocks. And then the fourth quarter game is close, very close. He sets the whole fourth quarter. Is that being petty?
Yeah, because it sounds like it would have went for 50. Remember we had a conversation about it. Your biggest thing was they don't have to trade him right now.
Right.
And what I kept saying, the locker room, how it's going to be. That's why they should have traded him. Because, what you going to do? Remember, they sat him for 2 games even after he was good for his injury.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I'm talking about. I get that you want to get the best package available, but look what it's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man. It's going to be a soap opera.
Yeah, 32, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks in 25 minutes.
In 25 minutes. And look, now the crazy thing is, he would get up, and that probably is what he's supposed to do. Every time he would score, like Julius Randle, he was hitting some big shots. He would come in, he would stand up, applaud him, come out, first one to give everybody dap during timeouts. But when the game was over, what I noticed was Drew Holiday came up to him, gave him a little chest bump, laughed, joked with him. Everybody else came to him, dapped him up, and everything like that. So at least most of the players look like they support him. But like Anthony Davis said, I don't know what the team's going to do, so I'm going to just play and do.
His teammates get it, and I don't like
it's
the
business.
fans. I don't like the fans booing him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he did everything for the city that he could. They can't get a winner.
It's business. It's business. Moving on. The NCAA grants quarterback Justin Fields, who came from Georgia. It granted him a waiver to play for the Buckeyes in 2019, so he doesn't have to sit. Now, I was reading and saw that, the stipulations is you have to prove that it was either something that was detrimental to your career or I forgot what it was, something else. But he basically he was saying that some people in Georgia was using offensive language towards him and he felt threatened. Hey, we'll take that.
Apparently, they looked into it, and
Yeah.
you know how the NCAA look at the thing, so it must have been some truth to that.
But they know they wanted him to play
For
Ohio State.
He gonna make some noise up there.
Yeah, he got to. So you want to. Moving on. Michael Vick, the Atlanta legend, who was slated to be the Atlanta Legends. That's funny. I said he was an Atlanta legend. I wasn't even trying to say that. And he was going to be the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Legends, the AAF team, Alliance of American Football League team. And he was removed of his duties by Coach Kevin Coyle. G, talk about this.
Well, it appears the story is that when Michael Vick has been working with Fox Sports as far as being a football analyst. He would be a guest on some of the morning shows, and apparently he still has to honor that commitment. And because of that commitment, during the NFL season or the college football season, he wasn't being able to spend a lot of time working with the Atlanta Legends team. So they decided to move on from him being the offensive coordinator, but they still want him to be on the team, be with the team in some capacity.
For the publicity.
Because basically he's the face of the Atlanta Legends team. like we don't know who's on the team. Like the only player we know is maybe Aaron Murray, but apparently he's not even the starting quarterback for the Legends. So they needed a selling point. So that's why they still wanted him to be with the organization.
So basically, they want to use him.
Yep.
But I guess Mike should have been there. But Mike was handling business, so.
I mean, he already had this Fox thing going on before they wanted him to be the OC.
So we'll see what happens with that. Moving on, pettiness seems like it's just the word of the day. It's the mood of the day because LeBron James came out and said that everybody in the East says they can get in the finals because this is his words. They ain't got to go through me. My question is, was he lying?
Nope. It's been proven. Was it 9 years in a row?
I don't see a lie.
Hey, I'm with you, LeBron.
If he was on any team in the East, they go into the finals.
Yeah.
Like in almost any team, right?
Any team.
So I mean, hey, he spoke the truth. You see, having nobody said nothing crazy about it.
Nobody said.
Has it been backlash? LeBron owned the East.
He owned the East. So yeah, and everybody just shut up.
Right.
So,
give him one more play, he might own the West.
Right. Moving on. Floyd Mayweather. Man, he almost got to stop it for this. He said on Kevin Hart's show, Cold as Balls, that he can get a 3 to 4 fight deal for $1 billion in the UFC if he wanted to.
I don't know if he deserved a stop. How much was he getting per fight in when he was fighting in boxing? It was $400 million per fight, right?
He would get,
not
it would be
to
$100
fight.
million, $150 million
To fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, not 400.
With Conor McGregor, he made at least $200 million off of that.
But then,
that was
ticket prices.
Though.
He get everything that goes into it, right?
Yeah,
that's the deal he would make with.
No, he was
UFC.
saying like if he was with UFC, signed with them, like it wouldn't be through his company.
But he would be making more. It appears like with the UFC.
You think?
Yeah, because he gonna get. He don't just get the money from just the fight.
Well, the reason why I say that is because I don't think anybody cares about him fighting the UFC. Who would watch that?
The UFC people.
Did they watch the last one? The little.
Nobody watched that. That wasn't even the same. That was not.
That was a stunt.
Yeah,
he was fighting some teenager,
and he made like 10 million.
So let me ask you. So
30 seconds.
So if Floyd Mayweather was to fight next week or 3 weeks from now in the UFC bout, you gonna watch it?
You can't ask me.
Why? You represent the people.
No, you can't ask me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not.
But
I probably would.
Look,
I would watch it, but because I'm like genuinely interested. But the reason why I believe he thinks he can make $1 billion off a 4-fight deal, people will be tuning in to watch him lose.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's why people were buying these other fights.
Sense.
They want to see him lose.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Now, if he lose 2 in a row, now that third one,
right.
third one might not be
still
too
watch
big.
him just to see him lose. Now,
I don't want to see him lose again.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep losing, Floyd. Keep losing.
Moving on. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred said that there will be no DH in the National League until 2022. Good.
I don't want a DH.
Yeah, I don't want a DH. I mean, baseball is one of those sports where it's tradition. And at first I used to be against it, but
see, I think that's what the thing is, right? You know how many people don't like baseball? And they're trying to so baseball is, like you said, that traditional sport. They got the older generations, right? They want to get the new generation, which that's why that's why they're doing it. I don't like it because I can sit and watch a 9-inning baseball game and just sit there and watch it.
I don't think that has anything to do with as far as the DH spot. Like, I think they need to change it. They need to just promote it better. They don't.
The best player in baseball, Mike Trout, can walk past you in the mall.
And G will not know who he is. I'll be like, G, did you get his interview? I didn't see him.
Who?
He's standing right next to you, G.
Who?
Maybe if he wore the hat. If he wore the Angels hat,
you'll
look at him
recognize him. He's kind of big. He has on the Angels hat.
He looks familiar.
That's crazy, man. And then last night, Moses Malone got his jersey retired in Philadelphia last night. And everyone was there. You know, Barkley, obviously, all the greats were there. It was cool. You know, the thing that's cool to me though, honestly, because we were talking about this off air past 4 years ago, but the fact that he only played 4 years with them. So I think the fact that they did that's cool. We brought them that only championship. I think that's dope.
Absolutely. And he definitely put up numbers for him. He did his thing.
Right.
I guess my thing is they did it after he passed, but I guess I have to understand that it was only 4 years.
Yeah.
And they may have not done it at all.
Probably.
Because usually in 4 years, you usually aren't getting your jersey retired.
Exactly.
So I definitely appreciate it.
Good
job.
You're watching on Facebook Live. He also has a statue. They also got a statue for him. Other players who have one, I believe, Dr. J has one, of course. I don't know if Iverson has one yet, but if he doesn't, that's coming. And I believe Wilt Chamberlain.
Why doesn't Barkley have one though?
I think Barkley has one.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then last but not least, we have to pay homage to Mr. Frank Robinson, a legend. He was the first black manager. That should be black. Forget Black History.
And also the first to get MVP award in both leagues, right?
Right. Yeah. So
The only.
So as it's great to pay homage to him. You know what I'm saying? As he was real cool. Everybody talk about that stare down he had with that one. Who was it?
It was an umpire.
Umpire for like 12 minutes. Straight G. So, all right, so we're gonna take a quick break after this wraps up. Quick hits, and we will be back. Keep it locked.
Good morning. I'm Greg Hurd, and this is your sports news break. The Atlanta Braves lost to the San Diego Padres 9-3 last night.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
What's happening? It's your man Big T doing big things. Y'all know what it is. ATL Hawks official DJ and Rap City forever. You're checking out the 3-Point Conversion Radio. You dig?
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It's your man, Mr. Controversy, here with The Intellectual. And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Syndica's Barbershop, located on 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. If you're in Atlanta, Douglasville, or if you're in Georgia, you need to come out here, get your hair cut. You won't be disappointed at all. Matter of fact, you'll find you a barber. Great barbers. Everybody can cut. No empty chairs. Great sports talk. Unity. Community. Politics. You know what? It's a mixture of the new school and old school. Even with barbershop, you remember how what was the character's name? Cedric Entertainer character.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie. We have somebody like that at this barbershop.
Every barbershop
what up,
has
Holyfield? He's not that old, but he know everything. Can tell you the weather. Can tell you who's playing. He can tell you who's gonna get hurt, and it happens. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Shout out to Holyfield, and shout out to Dwayne Chambers. Make sure you go to him when you get there as well. If you don't have a barber, if you come inside the barbershop, he's all the way down on the left, last person on the left, and you can follow him on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. So, the hot topic is the NBA trades. The trade deadline passes, but man, like we hadn't had an NBA trade deadline like this in a minute.
Man, once Tobias got traded, it went down.
And that happened in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Middle of the night.
I guess everybody else was like, wait, hold on. Philly doing what?
They try to be slick with it, too.
They was real slick with it.
But, man, so let's start out with the East. You have the Tobias Harris trade, and that was big. He goes to Philly. Now, sticking with Philadelphia. Well, first, let's stick with that. With that trade, do you think this propels Philadelphia to the top of the Eastern Conference?
I don't think it propels them to the top. They were already, a 3-4, somewhere around there. I think it just makes them that much more dangerous, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you never know how it's going to play out when you get a new player. But I think Tobias is the type of player where he doesn't have to have the ball in his hand.
Right.
He can play power forward and be a pick and pop, a pick and roll. Like, he can do so much without having to change the offense so much just for him. So I definitely think it's a great pickup for them. And man, they should have final aspirations. Like, seriously.
But right, and that's what I'm saying, because what they missed was, or they were lacking was, they had shooting with J.J. Redick, but other than that, they didn't have anybody else to shoot. Like, J.J. Redick has to squirm to get his shot,
Like Rip used to do, run off the ball.
Right.
And
But if somebody in his face, he can't get a shot off. Now with Tobias, he can do that, and he can play inside.
And what's crazy
and he
is
plays
that
defense.
He had just hit the game winner
in L.A.
Right. Off of him creating his own shot. So to bring that to Philly, and he's probably the fourth fiddle?
Yep.
What is he like, fourth fiddle or something, right? Because you got to figure Embiid, Simmons, Jimmy Butler, him.
Right.
But with that being said, them pockets got to be long.
Right.
Because that's a lot of people to pay.
And then they picked up Jonathan Simmons. That was a big pickup from Orlando.
It was a great pickup for who he is and what he can do for their bench,
Right.
but I don't like them giving up on Fultz.
True, but at this point, if he's a number one pick, he had, Philadelphia has a two-year maximum. If you don't come back and you can't play well, you got to get traded. They give you 2 years now. Philly does, but Ben Simmons, then Joel Embiid, they had their time, but folks, he couldn't get it together, so they traded him.
This was his second year?
Yeah, and it was like, we can't deal with it. So
I hope he goes to Orlando and prospers.
Okay, so all right, now Toronto, they get Marc Gasol. How big do you think that is?
I think that's huge for them. Nothing away from Jonas, right? But I think Marc Gasol's basketball IQ, right, is like off the charts. So it brings another element to their game, and they got a center that can he can defend. He's not the defensive player of the year that he was years ago, but he still can defend, and he's going to come in and cement a center there. And they didn't have to give up a whole lot, but giving up Jonas because of his age is kind of a big thing, because he's 26, right. Gasol's 32. But Toronto's in win is in win now mode because they need Kawhi to come back. You know what I mean? So that's what that was. I like the pick.
I like the pick though. I think that's a great pick. I mean, somebody who plays defense and everything. So I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? I just think I think, like I said, another pick was Milwaukee.
Getting Mirotic.
I think that was probably one of the best trades of the day of the trade deadline, and the reason I said it is because it gives them another 3-point shooter.
They didn't have that.
They didn't have it. They only had Brogdon,
yes,
right, and Middleton.
Yeah, that was it.
And
Brooke Lopez. Too.
Yeah. I mean, he be 4 for 6.
He will shoot it. Is he a good shooter? That's another question.
And he doesn't necessarily going to be standing right out there. Like, we know Mirotic going to give you 8 pump fakes, but when he do, he going to – you see he messed up the Bulls draft last year.
Yeah.
He came in and they went on a 9-game winning streak, and the people like, dude, what is trade this dude, man. Get him out of here.
All right, so we have a – do we have a caller? All right, we have a caller on the line?
Yeah.
What's up, caller? What you got to say?
Hey, I just want to say, man, I'm checking y'all out. I appreciate the job y'all doing. Y'all really coming at everything from a hood aspect in a good way.
Appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate that, Carl.
But most definitely, I feel that Milwaukee and Philadelphia, they put the East on notice. They definitely checked Toronto, and they gonna make it interesting for the finals this year. They slapped Boston in the face too. Mm-hmm. So I think the Final Four in the Eastern Conference in the playoffs, it should be real exciting. It's definitely gonna go down.
All right, man. Appreciate that, and I definitely agree because
that top four, that top four. And my fault, not to interrupt you, but when you look at that top four compared to the West, it's the numbers, the record, like it's right there.
And well, it's gonna be impactful. And like I said, so beforehand it was always Cleveland and maybe Toronto, but now you have four teams that can possibly compete with anybody in the West. Boston didn't do anything, but Boston was
Boston already. So, we know what they waiting on. We know what they waiting on.
So now let's go to the Western Conference. The Amon Shumpert trade to Portland, that was big. I like that trade. I don't know if it's enough.
Houston. I'm
not Portland. I'm sorry, Rodney Hood went to Portland. Right. My bad. Rodney Hood went to Portland. I think that was big. I don't think it does anything to
sway anything.
Yeah, but it was, they needed, and it might be another way where Hood plays better. Like he said, he needed a fresh start.
But for Sacramento, getting rid of Shumpert, I don't understand it from their aspect.
What? Oh, when he going to Houston?
For him,
well,
from leaving Sac, because they in the middle of trying to make the playoffs, almost being there. I don't think he was.
I don't think he was in the rotation.
Yeah, he wasn't in the rotation at all.
Yes, he was. He was starting.
He was starting?
Yeah.
How many games he started? Because unless he was injured, he
wasn't
playing as much.
He wasn't playing that much because they're leaning more on Fox and Hield,
right?
And Cauley Stein, as far as anchoring their defense. So I think those were the guys. They're gonna lean more on those guys than Shumpert.
Right.
They was leaning on him. I was watching their games. They was leaning on him like more than what we think. Like they were.
The games I watched. I didn't see him playing him as much, and I don't think they had him in their plans. I don't think he fit what they wanted. I think they realized because you saw Buddy Hield step up. You saw what's my guy that came from North Carolina? I can't think of his name right now with the fro, life and cat. I can't think of his name.
Justin Jackson.
Justin.
He gone.
Not Justin Jackson. Did he get traded?
Yeah.
Because he was he was playing at first.
Yeah, he was playing some, but they got rid of him.
Okay, but I know it was a lot of players, young players that they had came through, and I didn't see Shumpert playing. But again, I don't think Shumpert
26 minutes a game.
Who, Shumpert? I don't think he fit in a rotation like that. I don't think he was.
I can see why they might have traded him though. You're shooting 38%.
And that's what I'm saying. That they scored offensively. That's what they want to do is score.
So he played in 42 games and he started 40. It was
I must have missed.
And this is what I'm saying. They wrote their lineup was De'Aaron Fox, Shump, and Buddy Hill. They had him at the 3, and now I understand it because they got Harrison Barnes, and now they can put Buddy at the 2 and allow him to play in his natural position. Shump was playing the 2, and they had Hill at the 3, and then they got Bogdanovich.
But I like Shumpert in Houston. To me, he fits better because first of all, defense
3 and D.
All they do is 3
and D,
and that's what they need.
Yeah, it's great for them.
I mean, that's what they were doing last year. This year, it's the Bel Air Academy offense.
It is. It's definitely pass Harden the ball to get out the way.
Whenever Harden does pass the ball, it's someone shooting a 3.
But with Chris Paul's first game, his first 2 games back, I know the last game he played, he had 11 assists. Harden only had 1.
How many of the assists was to Harden? Because I remember at one point in time, like for 4 games, all his points was created from him.
From Harden? Well, you remember, Chris CP3 wasn't playing.
I know.
Right, and Harden even said that, Carla, I see you there, but Harden even said it himself, this is not the way we're going to win. But he was like, we have to play like this because everyone's hurt.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody said it, like, even at the time, you know what I mean? Like, this is what he has to do. Like, that's what it has to be, you know what I mean?
So, all right, we have a caller. Caller, come on the air.
What's going on? It's Mike. Nashville.
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
What up?
Not much, man. This trade deadline told me one thing, and one thing alone in the East. The Raptors will be winning the Eastern Conference this year.
That's how you feel?
Right. Why
yes,
you say
that's how I feel.
What makes you say that?
Look at the bench. Their bench is one of the most productive benches in the NBA. You got Pascal Siakam for most improved player. You trade out Valanciunas for a more veteran center that actually can give you more, either off the bench or starting. I mean, just look at the pieces that they have. And he can shoot the 3, too. And he's better passing the basketball. I mean, Marc Gasol gives you way more. Now, if they'd have got Mike Conley out that deal, too, man, they'd have locked up the East right there. But I can definitely say they will be winning the East this year. And they gave up basically DeLon Wright and C.J. Miles. Who are those guys? You can replace them with Norman Powell, and you'll be all right. So yeah, give me the Raptors winning the East, hands down. I could tell everybody want to tell me about Philly and what all they got going on, but they still got to gel first.
All right, appreciate that, Mike.
I agree with him with that bench with I can't pronounce his name. Pascal
Siakam.
With him going to the bench, I think that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, I like Toronto. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. We will see. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
It's Mike Patton, a.k.a. The General, and on my Saturday mornings, I got my feet kicked up, chilling, listening to my boys, The Intellectual and Mr. Controversy, ripping in the lounge.
Good morning, I'm Greg Hurd, and this is your Sports News Break. The Atlanta Hawks traded Tyler Dorsey to the Memphis Grizzlies for Shelvin Mack and have waived Shelvin Mack. They host the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Georgia Tech men's basketball team got a much-needed break and will travel to South Bend to face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Georgia State lost a nail-biter to Louisiana Lafayette 76-72 on the road. They dropped to 16-8. Devin Mitchell scored 21 points in the loss. The Atlanta Legends of the Alliance of American Football League debuts against the Orlando Apollos today in Orlando. So make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for exclusive coverage and all of your major sports news and updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now. You can tune in to this radio station on any smartphone or tablet. iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Nokia, Samsung, Windows phones, or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store. Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com or your app store.
This is Av Stanley, senior writer for the 3-Point Conversion, and you know I'm listening to Mr. Controversy and D Intellectual on the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Tell them what's going on.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. The Alliance of American Football League, it debuts today. I think it's at 4 p.m. Or was the first game at 8? Or the schedule was jacked up on the it had 2 games at 8 o'clock. I don't know if that's correct or not. But
like 8 a.m.? Like what? I don't
8 p.m. Yeah, it was like, I didn't get it. It was like, I don't know. But either or, it debuts this evening or today. And it will be on NFL Network.
It's depending on where you are in the country.
Well, actually, I think CBS has it as well.
Yeah, and that's going
Sunday is NFL Network.
Right. That's going to determine on who you see. Like you saying, it was 2 teams playing.
Right. So, I'm just wondering why we're so confused, because there's no publicity.
Right.
Bill Polian had a little something yesterday, but that was it. Like,
there haven't been commercials. There haven't been like blasts on different.
Yeah, and I understand that the Super Bowl was last week. I get it, which to me is not good. Like, you should have partnered up with the NFL.
They on the NFL Network. They got to be partnered up with the NFL. You know what I mean?
You should have did something with the Super Bowl.
Maybe they thought that's all they had to do.
Right.
It'll be NFL Network. We don't have to do anything else.
On Radio Row, it was what? One person? It was only one person on that. We saw on Radio Row with the shirt. That was it. That's all I saw. Like, and everybody looked at him like,
what's that?
Yeah.
Right.
Some people probably still don't know what it is.
I think G pointed out to me like he's with the Lions. I'm like, oh. Yeah, so you see over there, I was.
What's going to happen? People going to be flicking through channels tonight, and then, some football on.
So let me ask y'all this:
Is this the USFL?
Right.
Do you think it's too soon to come out? Because you know what I used to say, man, I want football all year round, but I need a break. I do need a break.
No, you need a break because you want your Sundays back. That's more so why you need a break. And if you don't get it for 3 weeks, you know what you're going to be saying in 3 weeks? Man, I need some football.
Yeah, I miss football. But let me miss it first.
It's going to determine. What's going to be the determining factor is the talent level, how it's going to look. You know what I mean? But based on who I've seen, they got Denard Robinson. They got some players that were not signed by the NFL again or things like that. So I mean, they got the opportunity.
Yeah. So I mean, I say this. We don't know what this league is about. We have no clue. There were preseason games. I don't remember seeing it. Maybe I missed it. Yeah, they played the preseason. But here's some of the rules I just want to talk about, which is kind of different, I'll say. So first of all, there's no kickoff, which I saw that coming. But they have what is called an onside kick. With the onside kick, it's called an onside conversion, ladies and gentlemen, not an onside kick. You have to be 17 points down at any time, or it has to be 5 minutes left in the last quarter for you to attempt an onside conversion. And how it works is you get the ball at the 28-yard line, and they put it as 4th and 12. I don't know why they call it fourth when it's just one play. But either or, 4th and 12, and if you get that conversion, you get the ball back. Thoughts?
On their own 28?
On the other 28. Now, see, that was confusing, too.
No, they get the ball on their own 28.
It was they were showing it like it was on the other 28.
No, that ain't, I'm reading it.
Oh, so it was on the own?
They get
it was confusing. I didn't.
Right.
I just
see, that's part of the whole thing.
It just said at the 24. All I read was the 28-yard line. I was listening to Bill Polian, and it said at the 28-yard line, and then 4th and 12.
I don't want the ball at my own 28 or 4th and 12.
I mean, but at least you get the ball back. But still, I don't. I don't.
So okay, I get it. I get it because instead of an onside kick, that means I just scored, right? Or I'm down by this, I hit a field goal, and now instead of doing a regular onside kick, I just get the ball at my own 28, 4th and 12. If I don't convert, then the other team gets the ball at the 28.
Right.
At least you get the ball.
Yeah, but G, do you like that?
Well, it doesn't. Does it say which 28 it was?
He said it was his. He said
their own 28.
But either or, why take off the onside kick? I understand that you don't have the kickoff, but
I mean they have put so many limits on it.
Onside kick is
that's not the one that doesn't that like is kind of strange to me for the most part. It's to me it's their rules about rushing the passer. The onside kick doesn't. I mean, you don't see that. They're trying to make it safer. The NFL has made it safer to where basically you're trying to take the kickoff completely out of the game.
Right.
So, special teams isn't going to be a factor in this league at all because even with overtime, you can't kick field goals. They're doing it like college overtime, but you can't kick any field goals.
Right.
But my concern is more with rushing the passer because you're limiting what defenses can do.
But isn't it supposed to be I don't think they necessarily said, but isn't it supposed to be a league that can help the players get into the NFL?
That's more so what it is. It's designed to kind of
So why are you having rules that doesn't apply in the NFL?
So this is what they said as far as the rushing. With less than a month to go to get our teams ready to play, the hardest part to get cohesiveness is in the offensive line. So if we came with all the exotic blitzes that we see, which is basically coming out of the secondary, they couldn't pick it up, and we're going to get quarterbacks hurt, and it's not much of a game, honestly.
So what happens when they get in the NFL and they're exotic blitzes?
They're gonna have more than a month to work on it.
Then they're probably getting, but it's gonna take more.
Because I also think that it's a 3-year contract, right? I'm thinking that this initial season, it's probably going to be that, right? But then as they work and be able to play better together and do this, then they'll be able to say, okay, you can do whatever. I kind of get it because, I mean, if you got a quarterback standing back there, offensive line hasn't had the time to – because you know how offensive lines are. You switch one dude out, it mess up everything with the line. If you coming out and everybody keep the quarterback getting knocked on getting his brains knocked out every other play.
But still, I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I understand like trying to get the offensive linemen to work together, trying to bring them along, but it's not like they're new to being on the offensive line, unless the offensive line coach is Tom Cable, who will get a garbage man off the street to be an offensive lineman. But I trying to bring it along and trying to get back to the fundamentals. That's what it seems to be as far as it's a developmental league.
Right.
So you got to bring people along.
Right.
So I understand like putting some limits on, and then, if they do get called up to the show, then they'll have time. Mm-hmm. There'll be more of an environment to where you can learn more things. You'll learn how to deal with exotic blitzes or or different things that the offenses can do. I don't know of any limits that the offenses have, but you'll be able to do more complex things on the next level.
And shout out to Sean Murdoch on the 3-point conversion Facebook chat line. He's saying that basically like the Pro Bowl, not allowing those blitz packages. Sean, it's kind of, the game is like the Pro Bowl. It's like we're watching another Pro Bowl, just they're going to be more competitive. Definitely. Maybe the Pro Bowl should be watching this game to see.
Right, might be better. Shout out, Shake.
But that's what it is. Okay, so we talked about the field goals, no field goals in overtime, 10 minutes, no field goals. You start at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's basically first and goal at the 10.
I like that. I do like that part of it.
And you have to...
And no field goals.
No field goals. And if you score a touchdown, you have to go for two.
There's never an extra point.
Yeah.
You always got to go for two. And with replays, there's no under the hood or watch a tablet. They get it from the directly on the field.
Then they say they have a camera up top, like a ninth official. I don't know how that's going to work.
They got fantasy games.
Yeah.
You can play through the app.
You got to be degenerate to be playing fantasy football with the
right.
AAF.
So
I don't want to say with the degenerates, but
so
almost right.
So in all, do you think this can work? How of course I would never root against it because these are players who are trying to get back into the NFL. But do you think it will be able to work?
I think it can because it's looking at itself as a true developmental league. As far as being on the field and then with off the field as far as like, okay, how to handle your finances or, they're going to get medical benefits, special medical benefits package and then helping them, I guess, with some kind of something like beyond football. And that's where it's going. So if you're doing all of that, okay, we can't do too much as far as on the field. So let's put some limits on it, and so we can develop the fundamentals.
They say they want it to be a compliment to the NFL, and he's open to suggestions from the league, and I think that's the best part of it, as opposed to trying to compete against it.
Right.
Because you can't compete against it.
So, again, my question is, if you're open to suggestions with the NFL and you're pairing with the NFL, why didn't you use the NFL to promote the league? Like, it would have been cool if they'd been promoting this during the playoffs. You would see a commercial of the AAF. You can't now, but if you was to use Mike Vick as your spokesman, now you have Andy Murray. Is there anybody else? I thought I saw Mike Singletary.
He's one of the coaches.
That's where most of the big names are. Dennis Erickson, Steve Spurrier, Mike Martz, Mike Singletary, and Mike Rowley.
Mike Martz?
Yeah. Other than that, players are Trent Richardson, Matt Asiata, Christian Hackenberg,
Trent Richardson,
Denard,
that's right,
Robinson, Sterling Moore, Trent Richardson, bring his career back.
Stop it.
He done had 9 times.
Right. All right. So look, we're gonna take a quick break.
He might get to stop it.
And we will be right back to talk about LeBron and Giannis picking their All-Star teams. We'll be right back.
Yo, you chilling with the 3-point conversion sports line. It's Chad Johnson.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
Hey, I'm Stephon Gilmore for the New England Patriots. You listen to the 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. All right, so the All-Star game is next week, and we're really not going to get into the All-Star game and into semantics and all of that good stuff. But I do want to talk about the teams. And, of course, this is the second year where they're allowing the the players, the top vote getters from each conference to pick, their players. And so it was LeBron James and the Greek freak. I still can't pronounce his last name. Antetokounmpo. I still can't. If I said, I might spit out a Frosted Flakes from 2008 on his face. But anyway, so it came out, and we're going to go over this. Okay, so first of all, G, if you can, what do you want to do the honors? I'll read it. So LeBron has Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, Bradley Beal, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Ben Simmons, Klay Thompson, Karl Anthony Towns, and of course Dwayne Wade.
That's 4 of the top 5 players in the league.
Yeah, this is Giannis' kickball team. This is Giannis' kickball team. Giannis is Stephen Curry, Joel Embiid, Paul George, okay, Kemba Walker, Blake Griffin, Nikola Jokic, Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton, Dirk Nowitzki. It was Victor Oladipo, but now it's D'Angelo Russell. Nikola Vucevic, and Russell Westbrook. It started out okay, but when you start hitting Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton, Nowitzki, and D'Angelo Russell, I like Vucevic. He's balling, but when it comes to the All-Star game,
and Russ got traded, didn't he?
And Russ got traded.
So Team Giannis gonna win, right? Because we looking at it, right? We're like, oh, this team is gonna do this. You know how hard they finna come out and play to try to prove everybody wrong.
But yeah, I think that Giannis has more. I mean, it's probably not exciting. A lot of 3-point shots going up, but he has more people that can shoot the three.
And we know that you know what? And maybe his strategy is because we know the All-Star game is nothing but a glorified 3-point shoot contest.
He had a strategy?
Giannis, that might have been it. Everybody shoot threes.
I don't know, man. I just look at LeBron's team, right? And they go for pick, right?
But do you think Giannis picked those 3-point shooters? Everybody can shoot threes, basically, except for Vucevic.
Except for him.
And him, because he don't have 3-point shooters on his team.
Actually can shoot threes.
Well, yeah, but do you think he did it because he don't have 3-point shooters on Milwaukee's team before the trade?
Maybe.
Like, man.
So I know that he said that he was going to pick Steph first because Steph picked him first last year. Right, because Steph picked him or something, but
Steph had the second pick.
But you remember that I said that he was trying to not hurt feelings and be and that's looked like what he was doing. Like, dude, you gonna pass up on the beard, Kyrie, Kawhi?
Well, he wants the ball. He don't want James Harden because he want to handle the rock.
Oh yeah, the beard ain't passing that jump.
Well, I think he had to take. If LeBron took Kevin Durant first, he had to take Steph.
I agree with that.
We weren't gonna have LeBron and Steph on the same team. Not like that. Not if you can pick players.
Right, and then after LeBron gonna take James Harden. After that, I guess Embiid would be the next pick, huh?
Well, this is kind of the mistake that Giannis may have made. Giannis had the first pick when they picked the reserves.
Yeah,
and he took Chris Middleton.
That's what. Yeah, that's where.
Bruh, what are you? I understand that's your teammate. Play against him. You could have used that as an excuse.
Bradley Beal got picked last, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
Why?
Yes.
I don't understand that.
Last.
But that goes into the Chris Middleton being picked.
Like, he definitely should have been picked last.
Not just him. Why wouldn't you get Anthony Davis?
Why didn't Giannis pick Anthony Davis?
Like,
I don't know.
That would be the first thing out my mouth when I get to reserves. Anthony Davis. Like, look at LeBron's team, yo.
Wasn't it? So last year, who had a bet? Was it?
LeBron had the better team, and they won. So he had the better team last year.
Yeah.
They say tampering don't count during the All-Star weekend.
That's when that trade happened.
Right.
He's like, let me get Ben Simmons.
Yeah. And he did it because
Ben Simmons is represented by
LeBron.
No, LeBron's company. We have to say it that way.
Right. LeBron's company.
Yeah.
So now, do you think it was? Because last year it was competitive, right? It was pretty much competitive.
Yeah, it was a good game.
It was a good game. You know, like you said, D made a good point. The players on Giannis' team, they're going to want to compete. You know Westbrook is going to compete
all day, every day.
You know Kemba's going to compete. Chris Middleton's going to compete just because.
Kyle Lowry going to compete.
Nah, Kyle Lowry going to chill like he normally do.
Awesome.
You know, so I still like the format. Just what's up with the picking though? And it was on TV this time, right? I missed it.
Me too. It was like on halftime or something, or right before the game, and they were sitting in the locker room or something, going back and forth.
Because it was on TNT, and when they, I think Charles Barkley said that Giannis, you should trade your entire team for Anthony Davis.
That was hilarious. I did see that though.
So we saw the Pro Bowl, NFL. They started with this, and the first few years it seemed like it worked. I still never forget when the first plays you saw teammates collide. I forgot, it was somebody from Kansas City, and he hit the running back, but he hit him hard. But it was just the fact that it was two teammates going against each other, and for some reason they went away with it, you know. But is there any way this influences any other All-Star game in sports?
Maybe this may be a great format for the NFL. But that's
to go back to.
Oh yeah, they did do it.
But
it wasn't the players.
But
it wasn't the players, right? It was like Jerry Rice and
like Deion did it. But to have the top vote getter.
To be honest, I don't know what can say the NFL Pro Bowl.
The only thing is like baseball might do it.
That would be fun. Actually.
But hockey already has like their own, like it's an all-star game, but they're separated. They go separate by divisions,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have like a 16 tournament,
right. So with baseball, if they did it this way,
I think that would be dope.
Yeah,
I think that would be dope. But what does that say about Giannis's loyalty by picking Steph Curry and Chris Middleton first? Does that mean he's gonna be loyal to Milwaukee when it's time to re-up?
I think he's staying in Milwaukee. I think he loves Milwaukee.
And they took a chance on him, right?
Right. Do you think they could bring players to Milwaukee?
I don't think so.
I mean, they're building something there, and they're competitive, and because of that progression, that may influence him to stay. And besides, like as far as being a foreign-born player, like it doesn't. the big market thing isn't a thing to him. I don't think.
But you didn't answer the question though about the free agents.
When they come,
will they come to Milwaukee?
I think they can.
No,
you don't think so?
No, name a free agent that went to Milwaukee.
I don't think a big free. I don't think like a superstar, but you might not need a superstar.
You need 2 to 3 superstars
no,
to
but
win.
That's what I'm saying. If you get 2 good players, if you get a Bradley Beal somehow to go, he's not a
that's
superstar.
That's going to be off a trade.
Right, but
no, like this is the thing. You go to Milwaukee if you want to be near Chicago and the Bulls won't take you.
Yep.
That's horrible. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back.
WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
What's going on, guys? It's John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's LA and Eric from Brownstown, USA podcast on the 3-Point Conversion.
You know, LA, these guys may have the smarts on a national level, but I think we can take them when it comes to the 216.
Man, stop it. You're a garbage watch. Anyway, check us out weekly for updates, news, stories, and opinions you can count on about football from the heartland of America, the Cleveland Browns.
Only on the 3-Point Conversion. Now let's throw it back to the Sports Lounge now!
Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It's the 2018 Battlegrounds champion, Damian Adams, from The Real Deal with Damian Adams. Now, you can catch my show weekly on the 3-Point Conversion station on Spreaker Radio. But for right now, I'm doing what everybody else should be doing, and that's listening to Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right. We are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I'd like to thank everyone who is listening and watching on the live streaming on Facebook or YouTube. And we appreciate all of your support. We appreciate the kind words we received for last week. We definitely ask you to keep on supporting us. And once again, we appreciate it. And it is now time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it!
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Stop it! Stop it! Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it!
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, D, it's on you, sir.
Yeah, so today my stop it has to go to the Dallas Mavericks. The reason it goes to the Dallas Mavericks is for the way they handled the Harrison Barnes trade. Trading him mid-game and him finding out from a fan through, fan finding out on the web. That's not the way you handle business, man, and you should definitely do it in a better way. I'm sure that they could have held it up until after the game. Don't let the news break and tell him before it get too crazy. But to find out that way while you midway through the game, you sitting on the bench is horrible, and they can handle this. Stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah, that was horrible. I don't like that. That has to hurt your what's the word I'm looking for? I guess, reputation. I mean,
Yeah,
lack of better
team.
words, because for you to do that,
And-
that's not good.
And I don't care if he knew that he was possibly going to be traded beforehand. That doesn't even matter to me, right? I think that you should don't let the news break till after the game, man. Like, that's it.
Right. All right. My stop it. I have two quick ones. First, LeVar Ball came out was saying that he doesn't want Lonzo to get traded to New Orleans and even Phoenix, and he said because it's too cold there.
Stop it.
Okay.
Phoenix,
New
Orleans, Nolens.
Nolens.
It's cold in Nolens.
Right. Okay. And then Tom Brady, he just won a championship and everybody's on the Tom Brady train, which I agree. He's the greatest. Well, Michigan Wolverine coach Jim Harbaugh said that they should build a statue of Tom Brady in Ann Arbor.
Stop it.
If Tom Brady deserve
at Michigan now.
a statue at Michigan, then Jim Harbaugh deserve a statue at the Chicago Bears.
That was perfect. I cannot agree with you, sir. That was perfect. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, G, what do you have?
All right, so mine goes out to Stephen A. Smith. Well, I'm going to play the clip first.
Haskins is no joke as well. I know that he's bigger. He can make all the requisite throws on the NFL level. He played for a big-time program at Ohio State. I just find him to be more of a runner than a thrower. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I find. I look at Kyler Murray.
Okay, so Stephen A. Smith was comparing in a conversation talking about Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins for the NFL draft. He called Dwayne Haskins a run-first quarterback.
Wow.
Dwayne Haskins ran for a total of 108 yards last season.
Yeah, you can take that, Steve.
Stop it.
One more time.
Stop it.
Stephen A. does not watch college football. It is
at all.
It was clear.
A fact. It's a fact.
Well, it was already clear that he didn't watch
Apparently
the
he
NFL.
don't watch NFL.
Right.
With the talking about Hunter Henry who tore an ACL, but he clearly does not watch college football.
Definitely not. He ran for 100 and something yards
108 yards. He just
through the whole season.
through the whole season.
108.
And he's a runner.
He's a run first quarterback.
All right,
Yeah.
so
All right, Stephen A.
we're gonna take a
We're gonna
quick
have to tag
break.
him in this jump.
We'll be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you as a sports fan need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter. Whether it's quick hits, what's on my mind, the infamous Stop It segment, you got to be there every Saturday morning on the 3-Point Conversion station for the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge hosted by Mr. Controversy. Get him!
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Time for MLB Diamond. MLB 2 weeks away from spring training.
Man, I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready for this. Where's Manny and Bryce going to end up? Sweepstakes. And like, this is a shame.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of indecision going on.
On what end though? Is it them or is it the team?
It's on the teams.
Yeah,
it's on the teams.
I don't think anybody wants to pay them $300 million, and I think that they are holding out for the $300 million.
And somebody's waiting to make that first jump and sign them. Because Philly was, I know they were
possibly talking about getting both for a minute.
Yeah, then it
then it was just one.
Bryce.
Yeah.
Now it's like all teams are waiting,
and it's messing up the rest of the free agents.
Yeah, because they can't get signed because everybody want to see what they're going to do, and the teams don't want to buy into them because they might miss out.
And we 2 weeks away.
Because what if they sign Bryce Harper to $220,000? I mean, $2,000 million. 220.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we might be able to sign an extra person. We can sign Machado and sign this guy.
Yeah.
But it's holding up everything.
Everything.
I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen
the hot
anything
stove
like
hasn't been the hot stove. I mean, even last year wasn't as hot as it usually is.
Right.
Like, it's just not doing what it's been doing.
So let me ask you this. The panel, who do you think is worth, or do you think any of the players are worth $300 million?
I'll
Mike
say
Trout.
Yeah.
I mean, besides Mike.
You're talking about between Manny and Bryce?
Oh, between Bryce Harper. And I don't know much about Machado. I've heard about Bryce Harper for like the last 8 years at least. So I think he is worth it. But if you say Machado is worth it, I'll take your word for it.
I was just going to say, I think probably Machado more than Harper. We were talking about it a little bit off air. You know what I mean? Harper going to get you maybe 50 home runs, 120, 130 RBIs, but he's going to bat 230, 240. Machado will almost bat 300. He's going to be a heck of a, whether you put him at third base or shortstop, and he's also going to get you 30 home runs and 120 RBIs. So, I mean, I kind of like Manny Machado better as a all-around baseball player. But if you gave Bryce Harper $300 million, I can't be mad at it either. I mean, not only is he going to hit you with home runs that are towering, and that's the excitement that he brings, and he definitely had a better second half of the season. So I couldn't argue with either or.
But do you think that Harper? I think with Harper, like you said, Machado, he's a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Defense, offense, clutch, big moments and everything. But I think with Bryce is more of, he has that, I don't want to say swag, but he
does.
He has a swag, but it's just, his name is almost bigger than what he does.
Right. So you saying not for just like G just said. I'm sorry. Like G just said, he hasn't heard of Machado, right? But he's heard of Bryce Harper. So that's the non-casual baseball fan, right? And I guess he's going to bring that to the park, right? If you go sign Bryce Harper, you're probably going to have some people that come in to watch the game just because of Bryce Harper, but not Manny Machado, because many people don't know him. But Manny Machado he has a better WAR too, which is
right.
wins above.
And I can say this: Bryce Harper can go 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and hit a home run, a towering home run. Manny Machado would go 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, a stolen base, and 3 RBIs or 4 RBIs. But that Bryce Harper home run is going to take over what Machado's done. Just because.
But that's ridiculous, though.
But that's how he reminds me of. I'm gonna go old school with I don't know who's old school. He reminds me of somebody like a Jack Clark. Who was that guy in baseball that would hit 35 home runs but strike out, maybe 40% of the time and like have 100 and some RBIs and hit.
It's somebody
just 260.
Just as recent as Frazier.
There's like a guy in the A's like Dave Kingman.
Yeah, or it's even
he hit
Frazier.
40 home runs but strike out 200 times.
Yeah, like that's Bryce Harper. I don't know if he strikes out that many, but I'm saying he has that stigma where he can do that, and it's big. I mean, it's just him. He's bigger, like I said, than his stats. His namesake is bigger than his stats, and that's why I think he's able to get to $300 million. I don't think Manny is worth $300 million. To me, I think if you're $300 million, you're bringing people you're not just winning, you're bringing people in the stands also. I don't know Manny brings people in the stands in every part like a Bryce Harper does.
I mean, I could agree with that. I mean, what G said, right? Like he said he didn't know much about Machado, but you tell him he's good, he's good. But Bryce Harper, it instantly does it.
Now, before we end the segment, I want to talk about this new rule that the Major League Baseball is they're trying to bring in. They hadn't approved it yet, but they're talking about we call it the Craig Counsell rule here, where they want to have if you bring in a reliever, he must pitch to at least 3 batters. What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you agree with that?
I think it's horrible. We're gonna call that the Craig Counsell rule, but I think it's horrible, man. Like, it actually takes away from the. I mean, there are people that get contracts, right, on being left-handed, one out, left-handed hitter. To get so you're gonna destroy their careers almost.
Right.
Like, if I want to bring a dude in, and for him to get one person out. I should be able to do that. What if I get a dude in there and he gets slacked by the first 2 people? I got to allow him to get up and face Bryce Harper?
Right. And like you said, that's what baseball is, man. It's strategic. It's very strategic.
Chess.
Like, but we saw Craig Counsell bring in players. Did he actually bring in a player after one pitch?
Yes, it was the first inning.
Look,
he'll take a pitcher out after the first batter. First inning, first batter, take the dude out.
Take a pitcher out.
Yeah, I've seen Craig Counsell before. It wasn't televised, the game, but I've seen Craig Counsell bring somebody in, and he was warming up, and right before he pitching, he got somebody else and brought him in.
Yeah, man.
Look, he'll take somebody out in the middle of a pitch.
In the middle of the bat. Throw a ball if you want to. Throw a ball.
No, like he's already thrown the ball.
And then Craig Counsell runs out.
Timeout. Like, dude, you can't call timeout in the middle of a pitch.
Yo, one World Series game lasted like 4.5 hours. That's because
because Craig Counsell had 37 pitches come in.
In the 8th inning.
How do you have 6 pitches come in 1 inning, dude? Like, dude. And then guess what? They not tired, so he can put them back in tomorrow.
They're not. You're right. They're definitely not tired. But I still don't like this rule. I mean, that's not right to limit. Maybe they should say something like, "We can do it. You can do it maybe twice in a game where a pitcher can only pitch to 1 batter,
or
like that.
Just make it where you got to have a batter or whatever the case may be." One thing I do want to bring up is we were talking about the home run hitters and strikeout artists, Adam Dunn. You remember?
Oh yeah, Adam Dunn.
Like, it was just home run,
yeah,
or nothing.
That's how it was. That's what we're used to, So
He'll hit it to the gap. It's a single.
Right.
Right.
Supposed to be a triple. It ends up being a single. He trotting in the first base when they getting the ball back in the infield. He trotting in the first base.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be back to talk some college basketball. Big game on the horizon. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, it's Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez, and you need to listen to the 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion.
Hey, folks, Handsome Josh is here to reveal some big news to all the AM 1100 listeners.
I have an app.
That's right, you can now check out all your favorite programs right here on The Real with the Real 1100 app. Whether it's sports, entertainment, or lifestyle, the Real 1100 definitely has you covered.
So why don't you just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
And here's the best part. It's available in your Google Play or Apple App Store, and it's free to download.
Actually, you can count me in on this one.
So download the Real 1100 app today and stay in tune with The Real.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kent Bazemore from the Atlanta Hawks. You're now listening to 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And we have college basketball. Big game today, or this evening, whatever you want to call it. And we have none other than the biggest football fan calling in. My man, Deshaun Tate from Tate's Take Sports. What's going on, Deshaun?
What you mean, biggest football fan? You sure y'all ready for me now, man? Because let me tell you something. Y'all sure ain't no more football that we got left to talk. We all done already done this Super Bowl stuff. Now they got this AAF stuff going on. I have no idea what that is. Now the XFL and all this. Let me tell you something. I thought we gonna be done put this stuff to the side, man. Talk some real sports, real college basketball. You get all your information right here. Right now, 1100, my boy Raphael, at Take Sports, TATESTAKE Sports.com. Now, you got to pardon me a little bit. You got to excuse me. I'm outside, so you hear a lot of, at first the dogs was barking. I was inside, so I'm getting ready to talk to you guys. But the dogs was barking. They getting excited. It's college basketball season. So I got to go outside and talk to you guys. But now you got all this traffic going up and down the street. Everybody excited. Everybody running on their way home to go hear some watch some college basketball for the day. What up, though, man?
Hey, man, you right. Look, we have a big game today, man, and
a couple of them. We got multiple.
Oh, actually, we do. But everybody's surrounded around this UVA and Duke game because of the last game and the thriller it was. Let me ask you, what? If you can give a percentage or give your analysis, percentage first in your analysis, on Virginia winning this game against Duke.
Percentage-wise, I'm giving you nothing but realistic. Nothing but realistic. I don't know what exactly the update is in terms of Ty Jerome, one of the better guards from Virginia. If he's going to actually play or not, I would imagine this being the biggest game of the year outside of, March Madness, that they have on their schedule. This thing has been circled and highlighted on the calendar for I don't know how long, but I'd probably say realistically, I'm going to go Virginia by a bare minimum of probably like 65, 70% to beat Duke today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to give them about a good 65%. Let me tell you something. The ACC runs through Charlottesville. They won the regular season last year. They won the conference tournament last year. They're one of the better teams in the country this year, obviously. One of the top two best defensive teams in the country this year. And they playing with a chip on their shoulder after they lost the first team ever historically to lose to a 16 seed as a 1 seed in the tournament. So, those guys are going to be ready to play, man. They're going to be ready to go.
Absolutely. Now, how high has Ja Morant risen, and is he a top 3 prospect in your eyes?
He's definitely risen quite a bit. I don't think nobody really knew who who he was like that. I know I certainly didn't. He definitely wasn't on my radar previously to this year. I don't think he did enough to be considered. He's right now, I mean, he's been considered a lottery pick ever since the first couple games of college basketball season. And, of course, thanks to some injuries from some other guys that have helped out a lot. You know, Kevin Porter from USC, Bo is out for the season, and as well as a couple other guys amongst a couple others. But outside of that, I think he's gotten all the way up to probably about 2 or 3 in a lot of different lottery boards. There's no way that I touch him that high. However, I will say enough to say that it's a down year in the draft this year. As much as it is, a down year of college basketball, most people may not really realize or think it. I certainly don't necessarily think that, but I can see why some people may say that because outside of Zion Williamson, Duke, and maybe a couple others, there's not really a whole lot that highlights the sport. But I don't really like him that high. I don't like him as much as everybody else does. One thing I think that we do a little bit too much is that we don't appreciate guys on this level in the college game, because the first thing everybody wants to do, just like Zion Williamson and most people, everybody else, Trae Young, you name it. People are always so quick to say, well, what are they going to be at the next level? This guy's too fat, and Trae Young's too small, and blah, blah, blah. Let's enjoy, instead of doing that, let's enjoy what we're seeing out of them on the college level. And I think that's something that we need to do with John Morant and just, focus in and gear our focus a little bit, lock in towards him and everything that's phenomenal that we're seeing out of him this year. But I don't think he's doing really necessarily anything much different than Chris Clemens. Now, most people say, now, who in the hell or heck is that? But Chris Clemens is a guard from Campbell, and he's really good. He's really small, but he's really good. Kind of like who's the guy from St. Peter's? Keegan Clark a few years ago, 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", and destroying the game. But John Morant definitely is certainly a good player.
All right. And once again, we're here live with Deshaun Tate from Tate's Take Sports. That's Tatekes. Take Sports. Sports.
That's a tongue twister, baby.
I can say it, though.
Twister. I dare you say it 3 times fast.
I'm not going to say it. But look.
It's almost like how much chuck could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
I might cuss and get kicked off the air if I say that. But look, in your Tate's Take Sports, you said that the Michigan Wolverines were the most complete team in the NCAA. Can you please expound on that?
Well, they got everything. You look at everything that they got, man. They got guards, they got wings, they got front court presence, back court bench, shooters, scorers, penetrators, distributors, coaching staff, and they're just coming off of a national championship. And they don't really look too much like they really skipped a beat. Now, granted, they lost Mo Wagner over the course of the year, obviously to the NBA, and he's with the Lakers now. But they picked up this guy who's a 20-year-old freshman. I know that sounds crazy. They might want to start checking some birth certificates. But dude has really came in, and he plays much like Mo Wagner. Same type of game, can stretch it out from the outside, plays with a lot of emotion, plays the game with a lot of passion, and he just almost looks like a spitting image of Mo Wagner. And I think that's why they are one of the teams out of very few this year that has kind of picked up where they last left off at, and they're seriously a national title contender. I would take them to go to the Final Four and potentially win the championship before I would take Tennessee. I would take Gonzaga in that same conversation over Tennessee. I mean, Villanova. There's so many teams. That just goes to show. And I know we're not talking a bunch of Tennessee right now, and they're number one and deservedly so. I don't trust Rick Barnes like that, but I will say that Michigan is certainly one of those teams that I truly, really believe has a realistic shot at standing on the ladder with the chompers in their hand, with the big scissors in their hand, and cutting down the nets in Minnesota. Now, I'm a Sparty guy, so I don't want to see that happen.
Right.
But, in this business, you can't be biased.
I'm surprised you said that. Like you said, you're a Sparty guy, but when you said it the other day, I was like, wow, okay, that's definitely interesting that he said that. But your argument, hey, I believe you. I agree with your argument. I came to argue against it, and we will see. We definitely will see. But, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming on, taking your time out to give us those great analysis
I appreciate you, my brother. We're protesting out here right now in the streets. No more football. No more football.
Crazy, man. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cat Williams, and you are listening to 3 Point Conversion Radio.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta Surgery Centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
Hey, this is Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury, and you listen to the 3 Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Definitely.
Hey, before we go any further, this is a guy named, they call him Jay, from Chicago. And he is getting his hair cut right now in the barbershop. What up, Jay? Appreciate you for listening in, man. God thinks he's a comedian.
Shot City.
Yeah, Shot City. Thinks he's a comedian, but, I mean, we don't know. But he does tip well. He drops $100 every time he gets a cut.
Oh, he tips very well.
Yeah, so I that's what we should do, huh?
Yeah, and don't say nothing bad about him.
No. No. I appreciate you, Jay. All right, so it is time for Ask a Doc. And what's the point of having a segment called Ask a Doc?
You don't have a doc.
Without bringing in a doctor. But we have Dr. Donald Fowler III, the orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. What's going on, Doc?
What's going on, guys?
Good, man. Appreciate you for calling in. And just to let you all know, I'm sorry, Doc, I got to let them know. He's on call, but that's how much he's dedicated. Part of this show and dedicated. Like, this is, we definitely appreciate it, man. We definitely, so, but I got to ask you, we're moving on from the Super Bowl, but the talk all week, I guess the last 2 weeks, has been about Todd Gurley. And as far as the last two games, he didn't play well. Super Bowl, I mean, he didn't get a lot of time to play, I guess, but we hadn't seen that Gurley-type game since he's come off injury. Is this something we should be worried about? Do you think it's something with his injury, or he just garbage right now?
Well, I don't think it's garbage, but I do think there was something probably going on injury-wise more than what the Rams were letting on. Now, I think there was probably some strategy involved. Certainly, you don't want to tip your hand more than you have to someone like Belichick at that point. So even now, I guess they're coming out and saying McVay and all those are not planning on any surgery. So I don't think I don't think it's a long-term serious concern. Like we're worried about his future in the NFL, but I do think it was nagging and lingering enough that they essentially had him on a snap count. Otherwise, in a game like that, it's not like the Patriots were running away with it up, multiple touchdowns. You hand the ball to your stud, you give it to Gurley, and only had 10 touches. So something was going on.
What? Let me ask you this though. If it's something going on, why not bring it up? Like what would be the reason? Because I thought the playoff game, I thought it was because he dropped the pass, which turned into an interception. And then later on, he dropped another pass. Now, clearly enough, it could have been that he just, like you said, he was injured. He wasn't playing. He wasn't up to himself, and that's why. But I thought it was because he just didn't play well.
Well, I mean, certainly there may have been some of that, and maybe you could argue that part of him not playing well because he wasn't 100% in the first place. But even before those drop passes, they'd still only given him I think that game he only had 4 carries, if I'm not mistaken, something ridiculously low. So, I mean, C.J. Anderson certainly was giving them some, I guess, a good option too, but everyone saw what Gurley did for the majority of the season and what he's done in the past years. So if he's 100% healthy, you don't sideline that guy, especially on the biggest stage in a game that's very close, and they're getting to golf, and the way that you establish that passing game is to run the ball more, and they weren't doing that. So,
all right, now Doc, with John Wall, he was taken out for the season to clean up a partially torn Achilles. With him completely rupturing his Achilles, how long could he actually be out?
Yeah, that one as a DC guy, that one hurt because now it led to a fire sale of a lot of other guys, but. It's a tough situation. I mean, he had, apparently bone spurs in both heels, and the Achilles tendon was, rubbing and irritated. So it's ideally something kind of preventative where you get it taken care of, you clean out the bone spur calcifications so you don't get a bigger complete tear in the future. And then, of course, I don't know what the circumstances are, but somehow he slipped and fell in his house and tore the whole thing less than a month from the first surgery. So, yeah, now he's out again, probably a full year, same as Cousins just came back from. But I worry a lot more. We talked about Cousins on the show last month. I worry more about a player like John Wall, who's known for being one of the fastest guys in the league and depends on that quickness and explosion. Cousins is, big guy, can use his body, different kind of player. So I'm a lot more worried about someone like John Wall coming back from an injury like this.
Yeah.
Great follow-up. That was definitely going to be my next question, with him being known for his speed, him being a point guard, cutting and everything that he has to do, and I think he's just making it over 30 and, coming back from that. How do you see him coming back from that?
I mean, again, it's honestly one of the worst injuries, especially for a basketball player. I mean, I think he will be back. Honestly, I don't know if he'll still have that extra gear that he used to have. Obviously, I hope he does. Obviously, he's not known as a shooter, so he's not going to really be able to fall back on that unless something drastically changes. So his speed is his biggest weapon. So it's definitely something that's gonna be watched very closely. But again, definitely at least probably a full year, mid-season, I would say next year, before he's potentially back on the court now. So,
all right, and once again, we're here live with Dr. Donald Fowler III, the orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta, and he's a big Duke fan, and I hope this don't be a biased answer, but no, I'm just kidding. Ty Jerome, the point guard for Virginia, he's questionable because of his back. Now, is there any way possible, even though you probably don't want him to play, that he can play and be effective with a back injury, playing the NBA playing? I mean, does he, if he got shot up, would that help him? Would he have to get shot up twice? First half and second half, or can he just play without getting shot up?
Yeah, and I'll preface for the people out there who don't know me. I did actually go to Duke and was an athlete there, and was a doctor there. So I have a reason to be a Duke fan. But I'm not just a pretender. But that being said, honestly, it's kind of funny in a way. It's almost a flip of what happened last month when Duke's point guard, Tyus Jones, actually did not play. And it was kind of a big deal because as much talent as Duke has, really the offense and the defense, particularly with his on-ball pressure, goes through him. So now you almost have the reverse, where UVA's point guard, Jerome, is maybe not a household name, but is kind of the cog to their offense too, is Bob Cousy finalist and handles the ball well. And he missed the last game with his back injury that he, I think, suffered the game before against NC State. So I think that from what I heard, they're going to try to roll him out there, but it's really important for him to be effective, for UVA's offense to be successful, because it does run through them. They might be giving him something for pain. Back is kind of a broad area, so it's usually kind of something that you don't necessarily inject. It's more of a general anesthesia. I'm sure he's on some anti-inflammatory medication and some other stuff, and if he can go, they're going to certainly have him out there because they're going to need him tonight.
Now, earlier we talked about the trades, and we brought up Anthony Davis and his situation, and the Pelicans possibly holding him out, although it can be a violation with him not being medically injured. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a unfortunate situation, or bad situation for both him and the team. I mean, for those who don't know, he had a avulsion fracture injury to his index finger, which kind of means a ligament tears and takes a little fleck of bone off with it. It's not anything that ever needs surgery, but it does need time to heal. So certainly it was a real injury, but then he comes out and says that he won't be signing with the Pelicans long term. So they're kind of trying to protect their trade asset now, but he's healthy enough to play. So unfortunately, it's just kind of a bad situation now for both parties involved. I didn't see the game last night, but I think the fans were booing him from what I heard and read, and then they didn't even, I think he's only played 25 minutes, scored a ton of points, but they didn't even play him in the fourth quarter at all. Again, I think just to try to keep him from getting hurt and compromising his trade value once the season's over. So
you ever had that moment where you did something and it kind of messed you up, either, God forbid, but at the point you're saying either you got fired or you made your wife or significant other upset, and then later on that day you kind of thinking in your mind like, man, I shouldn't have did that, shouldn't have done that. I just got a feeling Anthony Davis is thinking that. He's been thinking this for the last week. Like,
bro, I should have waited till the summertime.
Man, like he mad at his agent right now. Like,
waited.
His agent might get fired.
Should have just waited. No, it's not, because it's clutch, isn't it?
Huh?
It's clutch, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's
clutch?
right.
I'm not going to get fired.
He's not leaving. My bad, LeBron.
Yeah. I think we've all probably been there, and I guess his hope was that obviously something was going to be done before the deadline so that he'd already be moved on, but now he's stuck in limbo and going to have to sleep in the bed that he made.
So do you think, before we let you go, do you think that, now saying this, do you think that LeBron sabotaged him? Like, they came up with this plan and it's going to work? Absolutely. We're going to trade.
I think that's why they did it right before the deadline.
Yeah. Doc, do you think that? You think LeBron them came up with this? They all sat around and came up with this idea that it was going to work. But he's not LeBron. Only LeBron makes his move. LeBron can get away with it, not him.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think. I mean, who knows how much strategizing is going on and plot twists, but it seemed like they were throwing everything at him, and then obviously the deal doesn't get done. So maybe they were trying to kind of pigeonhole him a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of people saying now that he might end up going to LA at the end of the season, but not even to the Lakers, to the Clippers, with the moves that the Clippers ended up making at the last minute. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, and I heard from I think I heard from a source that when LeBron made the last trade with the 4 players and the 2 draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
when they asked Magic about that, Magic was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I think LeBron made a trade. And Magic had,
negotiations with LeBron.
Organization had nothing to do with it. They didn't know. Oh, man. All right, Doc, man. We appreciate you for coming on, taking your time to call in anyway while saving lives and helping families and people. And we appreciate you, sir.
No problem, guys. Hopefully see you guys in person next week.
Yes, sir. All right. We're going to take a quick break. Don't touch that dial or that Facebook page. Keep it locked.
This is Steve Atwater with the Denver Broncos, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app. iHeartRadio. Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones of Sucker Free Life LLC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-Point Conversion, with no team or no players off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and the Intellectual with What's on My Mind.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And this next segment, What's on My Mind, is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Make sure you purchase your apparel today on Facebook.com/Sucker Free Life LLC. That's SUCKA. All right. First time listening, this is the time where we get to speak what's on our mind without being interrupted. Talk about what's bothering us, what we don't understand. But just whatever it is, you know. And so usually, I don't usually go this route. But I'm gonna we're gonna tell the truth and shame the devil.
Speak what's on your mind.
And the red button. And so that's not a joke. But anyway, you know, it's Black History Month, and in sports, I think for the most part, the sports take that Black History Month and they say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and celebrate it. In some sports, they do it because it's Black History Month. They do a great job. You know, NBA, they're big on it. A lot of other players, sports. Well, NFL usually they're not, you know, but NFL Network might do something. Okay, it's cool. But the more I think about it, the more it should be, we should stop that. Taking away. I'm not a big fan of Black History Month anymore. It could be belittling. It could be, it's almost like an insult. And I think with sports, I think they should shy away from it. And why not just have either we celebrate Black History each month, or just from time to time, just like they do with other Americans, talk about somebody that's Black. I mean, why do we have to narrow it down to 1 month? Is Black History not that important just to be just for 1 month and that's it? When, I mean, it's American history. It's not like we're talking about, people from Africa, you know what I'm saying? And no, we're talking about Americans. So they might not have been here because they want to be here, but still, they're Americans. So I'm ready for that Black History Month to stop being celebrated and just be celebrated throughout the year. And I'm not saying that they have to have, right now at least, they have to have a Black person and talk about him every month or every day, but do like you would normally do with American history. We have a lot of great Black athletes. I mean, if they want to keep it to Black athletes, do it like that. But whatever. Let's stop. Let's chill with the Black History Month. People say, oh, but why not? Because you got families, that want to give their opinions. I'm not giving their opinion, but teach their children, about Black history, which is great. But why does it just have to be in February? And then after February, like, they don't, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. No. It's American. And it's funny because you hear the term all lives matter. If that's the case, then why is it just for 1 month for the Black History Month? It should be throughout the year. Shouldn't be just labeled as Black History Month. It should be throughout the year where we celebrate Black Americans throughout the year. Just like we celebrate other Americans throughout the year. And that's what's on my mind.
I definitely agree with you. I haven't celebrated Black History Month in years now. My history is all year around, and it definitely can be regulated to sometime 29 days. You know what I mean? So we also get the shortest month of the whole situation. I don't agree with it. Not a big fan of it. I learn about my history every day, and that's just what it is. As far as who they should speak about each month, I think that's what they kind of do is do athletes or entertainers. Like there's people out here that's whether it's the little 13-year-old girl from Blackish who was just recently a director, the youngest director ever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different people you can choose. So I definitely agree with you. So that was a good topic, man. I really appreciate that. That's definitely was a great time to bring it up in this month. So what I'm gonna talk about today, I kind of touched on it a little bit with my stop it moment, which was a trade of Harrison Barnes. So LeBron posted something and said he put the Harrison Barnes up when he found out and the look he made. And so LeBron said, so let me guess, this is cool because they had to do what's best for the franchise, right? Traded this man while he was literally playing in the game and had zero idea. I'm not knocking who traded him because it's a business and you have to do what you feel what's best. But I just want this narrative to start to get real, change, and not when a player wants to be traded or leaves a franchise that he's selfish or ungrateful player, but when they trade you, release you, waive you, cut you, etc., it's best for them. I'm okay with both, honestly, truly am. Just call a spade, and that's 100. So I think, with that, I think he could have, I like the narrative. I like where he went with it, right? But there was a trade last year that I would have, last year that I would have wanted him to speak out about it more, and that was the DeRozan trade. Because of the way DeRozan was wrapped up in that community. Now, I understand that how this happened was bad, right? But the way DeRozan, like, the way he found out, the way he was almost crying, the way we know he battled depression. We know how Toronto was for him. So for them to trade him, I think that's what LeBron could have went. But my opinion on it is I completely agree with him. I think that So sometimes I don't like how the player does it, right? Whether it was Jimmy Butler, whether it was Kawhi, or however, I may not have liked how it went down, but I'm completely on board with the players controlling their own destiny and doing what they want to do. When it comes to the business part, right? The team can trade you, waive you, tell you to stay at home, i.e. J.R. Smith. So if y'all don't know, J.R. Smith still plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He has not played in the game since, the first week of the season, if that, something like that. But the team can do that. It's cool when the team do it. But the minute the player does it, it becomes a problem. It's, he's selfish. He's ungrateful. He doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to do that. He signed this contract. You're right. I signed the contract to play for this team. But when you trade me as being part of the business, it's okay because you're the owner. And I hate to take it there, but since you did go with the Black History Month, it seems like it's more of a problem when it's a black player doing it, right? Most of the NBA we know is black, but even in the NFL, it's only a problem, right, when it's Le'Veon Bell. But if it's Tom Brady or somebody else, it's okay. But that's the narrative, and that's what it is. But I definitely agree with LeBron James. The players should be able to have as much choice and as much as they want with the organization. If I sign with you for 4 years, then don't trade me for 4 years. Or if I want out, then figure that out. Like let's work together. Let's do it better. If I'm with you for 4 years and I see in the last 2.5 years you've done nothing to try to make the organization better, i.e. AD, of course I want out of here. I have given you every opportunity to make this better. Kevin Garnett said he wished he had not been as loyal to Minnesota as he did, because he would have been one and he would have been in a better situation. But he's trying to be loyal, trying to show his loyalty and do this. And he more than half of his career, 3/4 of his career, he was playing for a losing team because he wanted to be loyal. So, that's what's on my mind. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's very important. I agree. And, like I said, I know AD wish he would have had it back, but I definitely understand that that's how it's supposed to be. And that's what it should be, because you're a player, like you said, they don't have. I definitely agree, man. All right, you hear that music? That means it's time to let you go. But before we let you go, we have a couple of shout-outs, and you might be a part of them, so please stick around. I want to give a shout-out to the big homie upstairs, God Almighty, for giving me this opportunity, for blessing me, keeping me alive, keep giving me a great crew, outstanding staff, the 3-point conversion, and then give me this platform to talk my crap, say what I say, make you all happy, upset, mad, want to give me the stop it button. God, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Raphael.
Last week was great, and this was awesome. Also, I want to thank our sponsors, Ortho Atlanta, Seneca's Barbershop, Sucker Free Life LLC, and the future sponsors coming along. Also, I want to thank our guest, Deshaun Tate from Take Sports. Also, he's not a guest. This is a segment, but Dr. Fowler for coming on all the time. Appreciate you, man. Thank my crew, G. Appreciate you, sir, for everything you do, man. Then I got to thank my road dog, the intellectual.
Yes, sir. Thanks, bro, man. I just want to thank everybody that tune in every week, friends, family. I don't want to say fans like that, but fans, whatever you want to call it. And I know every Saturday morning I'm texting a lot of people, calling a lot of people, tagging a lot of people. Man, I actually appreciate every one of y'all for listening as much as y'all can, whether you tune in for 5 minutes or you tune in for the whole 2 hours. We definitely appreciate all the support we've been getting from everybody. Thank you.
All right, and thanks for the callers as well that called in. Also, thank my family and friends. Appreciate everyone, beautiful wife, children, cousins, aunties, uncles, nephews, grandparents, cousins, brothers and sisters, play cousins. I appreciate you all. I thank you all.
Lil Bruce, thanks for calling in, because I know you're going to be calling me about that.
Right.
Thanks,
Lil Bruce. Also, we appreciate, not even being like this, but we appreciate everybody who listens. where you come from, wherever it is, major city, small town, the hood, the north part of town uses where the rich people say, everyone, we appreciate you. And make sure you all love each other, let everybody know you love each other. Watch sports, watch some great sports, eat good. Till then, next time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace.
Peace.
You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.